I told you I would show you how to model the motion of a tipping stick with Python, and so we're going to do that today. Let's go back over the physics and why it's difficult to do it without Python, and then we'll jump right into Python and we'll just make it work. And we're going to animate it too. It's going to be great. It'd be a lot easier if you don't animate it, but I'm going to animate it. So imagine I have a stick right there. It's pinned at the bottom. Well, in this case, we know that there is one force that we need to consider, and that's the gravitational force in the center of mass right there. Why did I switch to yellow? I don't even know. So that's going to give us the following torque equation about this point right here. So torque is going to be equal to the gravitational force, mg, times the distance to that point, which is r over 2. I'm using r for the length. And then times the sine of theta, because it's tilted, sine of theta. Okay, so that's my torque. So now we can set that equal to I times alpha. Right? That's our only torque acting on it. Technically, this is the way I drew this. It would actually be negative and negative, but it doesn't really matter. The moment of inertia of a stick about one end is 1/12. No, it's 1/3. 1/3 m r squared. So our equation of motion, the negative signs cancels, looks like this. mg r over 2 sine theta equals 1/3 m r squared alpha. And we want to model the motion of this. So let's put a box around that. That's a really important equation. The mass cancels, so that's good. But r does not cancel. So let's actually write this a little bit simpler. Cancel the mass. One r cancels, but the other one doesn't. So I get g sine theta over 2 is r alpha over 3. In fact, what I'm going to do is solve for alpha. So I get alpha, let's put it over here. Alpha is going to be equal to 3/2 g sine theta over r. That's very important. But you see that the acceleration of there's two things about that acceleration. Number one, if theta is 0, so it's vertical, the acceleration is 0, and it's just going to stay there forever. Okay, it's not going to tip over. But if you tilt a little bit, there'll be an acceleration. And then if you have an acceleration, it's going to increase the angular velocity. If it increases the angular velocity, it's going to increase the angle. Now you have a greater acceleration. So it doesn't go with a constant acceleration. It goes with an increasing acceleration. That's a tough problem. That's why this is a tough problem, because alpha changes with theta, and alpha changes theta. So how do we model that? We model that numerically in Python. Or it doesn't have to be Python. So just a reminder of how we do things like this in Python, in a numerical calculation anyway. What we're going to do is to pick a time interval. Let's say delta t is 0.01 second. During that time interval, I can calculate the angular acceleration. Alpha is 3/2 g sine theta over r. I wrote that poorly, but that's fine. Now I can use the following definition for the angular acceleration. It's the change in omega with respect to time. And that's omega 2 minus omega 1 over delta t. I'm not going to put that right there. So omega 2, that's an omega, is omega 1 plus alpha delta t. So if I just multiply both sides by delta t, add omega 1, I get that equation right there. So this is the angular velocity at the beginning of the time interval. That's the alpha I just calculated. That's the angular velocity at the end of the time interval. This is wrong, right? Because this assumes that alpha is constant, and it's not. But we have a short time interval, so it's kind of okay, and we should be fine. So there you go. Okay, now that's our second step. Now what I can do is assume the angular velocity is constant. So angular velocity is the change in theta with respect to time. So that's theta 2 minus theta 1 over delta t. Same solution. I get theta 2 is theta 1 plus omega delta t. Again, we're cheating by assuming that omega is constant. It's not. It's kind of constant in a short time interval. Okay, so we have this one 1, calculate the angular acceleration. 2, update the angular velocity. 3, update the angular position. I didn't put a 3 there. And now that the angular position changed, I need to go back up here and do that again. So this is done for just the first 0.01 second. To do it for the next 0.01 second, I need to increase my time value, recalculate alpha, re-update angular velocity, re-update the angle, and do it again and again and again and again. Okay. Let's do this. I'll actually do it 2 ways. I'm going to do this first by just plotting theta as a function of time, the tip angle, and then we'll model it in 3D. That'd be fun. Okay, so one of the things that we are going to need are initial values. We in a numerical calculation, we need numbers. Okay, so we have g, that's 9.8. We got that. Let's say r is 1 meter, and theta is 5 degrees. I'm going to start at 5 degrees, and we'll talk about why that matters. Delta t is 0.01. My initial angular velocity is 0. I do need that too. Okay, jumping over here to Web v Python, and in case you haven't seen, there is a new Web v Python, a new trinket.io. That was going away, so we have Matter Interactions has hosted it now. They're still testing things, so it's not completely, all fixed, but I'm going to use it, and let's just see what happens. So I'll put a link down below. So I'm going to get a new trinket. I'm surprised they have music. It's funny. Web v Python, just like before. Notice they don't have the blocky thing because no one used the blockies, right? So let's just see if we can make this bigger so you can see. How's that look? Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, I like it like that. Okay, that looks good. I intentionally didn't do anything beforehand. Okay. If we're going to make a graph, we need to make a graph. So that's the first thing we're going to do, make a graph. G1 equals graph. Title equals tipping stick. X title equals time. I'll just put t in seconds. Wrap it around. You can wrap a line if you haven't seen that before. Y title equals theta in radians. And then I'm always going to have to make it a smaller graph. So width is 400 pixels. Height is 200, but you don't have to do any of that stuff. I just want to make it look nice. Now I'm going to need a curve to plot. F1 equals G curve, color equals color dot blue. This is all, I spelled it that way. This is all live. There you go. Now I'm going to need my constants. R equals 1, G equals 9.8, theta equals 5 times pi over 180. Omega, I'm just using W, is 0. Yep, that's it. I got it all. Okay, t equals 0, dt equals 0.01. So let's just jump into our graph right now. Into our numerical calculation. So here, I'm going to do the safe thing. Don't try to be cute. Don't try to do some wild theta angle thing. Let's let it fall for 1 second. So while t is less than 1, colon. We're going to do the following. Number 1, calculate alpha. Alpha equals, I'm looking at my equation right there, 3/2 times g times sine of theta divided by r. Yep, got it. Okay, now I can use alpha to update, I do have theta, okay. Update my angular velocity. Omega equals omega plus alpha times dt. So remember that this is an update equation. This is a make equal to equation. This is not an algebraic equation. So this is take the old value of omega, add alpha plus delta t, and make that the new value of omega. Now we're going to do the same thing for theta. Theta equals theta, spell it right, plus omega times dt. Now I'm going to plot my data point and then update time. So f1.plot t theta, and then I'm going to update time. T equals t plus dt. Let's just see if it runs. You never know. Something crazy could happen. I have t equals t plus dt, so I'm pretty sure it will not run forever. There you go. Tipping stick. So notice that Did it fall all the way over is one of the questions that we want to ask. So that would be, let's just put this theta in degrees. I think in degrees much better. So when I plot it, I'm going to say times 180 over pi, and then up here I want to be right. I'm going to say degrees, and run it. So you see it actually went past 90 degrees. So you could just say when did it hit the ground? Well, what's the 90, right? 90 would be right here. So it took 0.93 seconds. So that's fine. You could leave it right there. Let's see if we can change this to fall until it stops, until it hits the ground. So for that, I'm going to be a little dangerous. I'm going to say while theta is less than pi over 2. Pi over 2 is the ground, right? That's 90-degree angle. There, and stopped. Okay, so it took 0.94 seconds. Now, the cool thing here is, watch, I'm just going to show you one thing. We started at 5 degrees. What if I start at 4.5 degrees? So almost the same thing, 0.94, remember that. So now I'm going to change this to 4.5. So almost the same angle, very close. And now it took 0.97. So it's very sensitive at that very initial angle. And in fact, if I decrease the angle to, let's say 1 degree, it takes a lot longer to fall over. 1.3. So it's very sensitive to that initial start. Because if it was at 0, it would take infinite time to fall over. And that's a good problem to explore on its own. But we want to model this. We want to see what it looks like. So let's just go ahead and make a floor and a stick and then do it all from there. Okay, so I'm going to make my objects right here. I'm going to leave the calculations as they are, and then we can just move it that way. But let's just leave the calculations and add the graphics. And I will give you the code. I think I can share this code. I'm not really sure. I'll try. If I can, I'll put it on glowscript.org, because that I know works. Okay, what am I doing? Floor. So let's make a floor. It's a box. Let's put the box at the position vector 0. If my meter stick is 1 meter long, I'm going to make this maybe 2 centimeters. So let's put it negative 0.010. So I shift it down. So the top of the floor is at x equals or y equals 0. This makes it easier a little bit. And then the size is a vector. Let's make it 1 by 0.02 by 0.5. And let's make it green. Color equals color.green. And let's run it. That's just going to have a floor. There's my floor. Okay, nice. Now I'm going to make my stick. So my stick, I'm going to call it a stick. It's going to be an object of type cylinder. So a cylinder has 2 properties. It has the position where one end of the stick is. So here's a cylinder. So it has a position, and then the axis is the vector from here to there. So as it rotates, if this moves and rotates, you can take care of that with the position and axis. And it has a radius too. So the position, I'm going to put it at the floor, so vector 0, 0, 0. And I'm not going to move that. The axis, I'm going to use my vector theta. So this is going to be a vector. The y component, the x component is going to be equal to r times sine of theta, right? Because I have my theta measured from the vertical. And then my y is going to be r times the cosine of theta. And then it's not in the z direction at all. Now I do need a radius. Let's just pick a radius for this thing as 0.01. That might be a little thick. Let's just run it. And it's not moving. I didn't tell it to update. That looks good. And I think I'll leave it as white. I'm actually going to do, let's just try this. I think this is not what I want, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do, comma, make trail equals true. Okay, so now I have my stick, and it's going to leave a trail. So the only thing I need to do down here is whenever I change my theta, I just need to change the axis of my stick. I'm going to leave the position the same. So I'm just going to use that theta to redefine my axis. So stick dot axis equals vector r times sine theta, r times cosine theta. Now, another thing on 0. The other thing I need to do is add a rate statement in here so that it doesn't go too fast. So rate 100 says don't do more than 100 calculations per second. Let's just see what this looks like. Okay, so I think the trail is right there. That's why I didn't leave a trail, unless it gave me an error. Oh, look at that. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. Huh. Okay. Let's add a tracer, just because I want it. Okay. So I'm going to I have the stick, let's call it top, and it's a sphere, and its position is going to be stick.pos plus stick.axis. I could retype that, but I didn't. Okay, so that means start from the axis, which is 0. I didn't even have to put that in there. Go the direction of that, and that's where I want that ball to be. The radius of that ball is going to be 0.01, and let's give it a color equals color.yellow just for a little flair, right? And then make trail equals true. Now I'm going to have to move the top too. So when I move the stick, I'm going to have to move the top. So I can just go up here and say top equals stick.pos plus stick.axis, because I already moved the axis. Now, this is important to do with the POS, because imagine I wanted to have a stick like this that slid, and so I'd have to take that into account too, which I'm not doing here, but I'm building for the future. That's what I'm doing. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, this didn't move. Why didn't it move? I must top.pos. Okay. Yay. Okay, and there you go. Tipping stick. Now, oh, you can't see that. There we go. Moving around that way. So one of the things that would be fun, and I'm going to let you do this, make a plot. Make a plot of tipping time as a function of starting angle, and just show that it's very nonlinear, and that'd be kind of fun. You could also do a second stick that's twice as long and show that it takes a lot longer to fall over because it's lower acceleration. Taller things take a lot longer to fall over. If you wanted to get crazy, you could try to model something with a bunch of sticks connected together or in some way to show that at some point as they fall over, they break in half. It's a lot more complicated to do, but I do want to do that problem too. But there you go. Tipping stick in Python. I will give you the code one way or the other to this, and I hope you have a good time. I'll talk to you later. Bye.